breaking news on the Zepbound shortage update and Mounjaro shortage update. You're gonna hear it here of all the updates going on, which are quite exciting. I'm actually very, very excited for today's video. After I go through that, we're gonna talk about your shortage checklist. So if you're on Mounjaro or Zepbound, what are you gonna do to help you push forward during the shortage? Some easy tactile tips that have worked really, really well for me. You're gonna wanna stay, because I got an update on that. And then the third thing we're gonna talk about in today's video is I have tweaked something. I've been on Mounjaro and Zepbound now the last 18 months. I've lost a whopping 90+ pounds. I did just get back from vacation, so there may be, I have picked up a pound or two, but rapidly losing all those on my 100-pound weight loss journey. And I've got a new thing that I've been doing that will hopefully help encourage you. So stay to the end. We'll talk about that at the end. Let's dive into the shortage. As always, I do require of myself to be factually accurate. So this link that I'm showing you is the accessdata.fda.gov. It will be linked down in the description link below. Many of you have asked me, how do you get to the description link? Because YouTube has changed it. Just click that ... more hyperlink. You may have to click it twice. YouTube does not want to see all of the links, but this is the actual link. I do have the live feed also on here too, so you guys can see. I screenshotted it, and I took a photo of it, I screenshotted it, and then that's the live feed of what's going on with the Zepbound shortage currently right now, which is very, very exciting. I'm super, super pumped to talk about this. Let's talk about Zepbound first. So it was updated in July 2nd, 2024. So if you're watching this video, I very well may have another breaking news story for you that is more up to date. So as always, check my playlist, click that like and subscribe while you're down there. The update for Zepbound is what is in limited availability is Zepbound 10 milligrams, and then Zepbound 12.5 milligrams is actually available. So if you're on those doses, a Zepbound 15 milligrams is limited availability. So two limited availability from this. It's gonna be Zepbound 10 milligrams limited availability, Zepbound 15 milligrams, but Zepbound 12.5 milligrams is available. You're gonna wanna stay till part two because I'm gonna dissect that for you. That has worked well for me. I'm on Zepbound 15 milligrams. And this is saying on the accessdata.fda.gov site, limited availability through July 2024. The demand increased for the drug is the reason why. The rest of the doses, meaning Zepbound beginning starting dose 2.5 milligrams, Zepbound 5 milligrams, 7.5 milligrams, are totally available. So the two that are on limited availability for Zepbound are 10 milligrams and 15 milligrams. Now I need to pause and tell you, just because it's not on that list, it doesn't mean that the shortage is not existing, to clarify. We've seen this the last 18 months has been, for me, I'm like losing my bananas because I'm like, it's not on the shortage list. Bureaucratic, slow paperwork here in the US, and I know we've got a lot of folks in Canada and UK and Australia and international viewers. This is for US, but that's gonna trickle down, right? There's trickle down. Just because it's not on that list does not mean that it's not in shortage, right? We're gonna talk about the Mounjaro shortage too. And so I want you to keep that in mind. However, this is great news. Like, can we just take a victory for a hot second? I feel like in the GLP-1 community, we just get punched left and right as we're like trudging the road of happy destiny. Like we get punched left and right of like, it's incredible to me. If it's not the naysayers thinking that we're gonna have 5 heads from GLP-1 medication, it's then the shortage. So this is very encouraging. Let's take the win. Let's take the W. Woo! Let's give ourselves a pat on the back. Number two, we're gonna talk about is the Mounjaro shortage. So my type 2 diabetic friends, it has on there what is on shortage is Mounjaro 15 milligrams is in limited availability and Mounjaro 10 milligrams, same things. So same 2 doses there, 10 milligrams, 15 milligrams for both Mounjaro and Zepbound, limited availability through July 2024. Demand increase for the drug is the reason why. So let's take the win for today, but we know, which I've done so many videos on, per the Q1 2024 investors call, Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Zepbound and Mounjaro, told us to expect a shortage into 2025. There was no end game date with that. However, we know that 7 manufacturing facilities from Eli Lilly is in the pipeline. They said they need 10 to 15. to keep up with the current demand. Is that not crazy? They need 10 to 15 to keep up with demand. 7 are in the pipeline. So this is all great news, great news, great news. Of course, we know because one of our amazing viewers, and well, we know because it's in the news, but one of our amazing, amazing viewers sent us the Eli Lilly factory. It's getting built, the one in North Carolina. So that's going to be coming, coming online soon because the shortage is with the pens. So I wanted to update you guys first and foremost on that. I think super important to know with strategy on here. Now, this is the strategy component with this, that I want you to talk to your healthcare provider. I am never a healthcare provider. I never give medical advice, simply my experience, strength, and hope in the 300 plus videos. Feel free to go binge watch all of them while you're working out or just cleaning your house or whatever. With these, if you are on Mounjaro 12.5 milligrams or Zepbound 12.5 milligrams, it's saying it's fully available. Do I think from an outsider that those next month, we'll see in like August or September, Zepbound 12.5 milligrams or Mounjaro 12.5 milligrams come on this FDA shortage list? I do. Do I have in there any sort of insider information on that specific dose? I don't. I don't. That is my personal theory on that. Take it or leave it. I have been really, really right on a lot of stuff and I've been wrong on some stuff. So that is my prediction, is that we will see that 12.5 milligram dose pops up. You need to have the conversation with your healthcare provider. If you need a healthcare provider, I work with Join Fridays. They prescribe both brand names and compounds. Use the discount code QUEEN. That is also linked in the description link. I would, if I was on the 10 milligrams Mounjaro or Zepbound 10 milligrams, I personally would call my local pharmacy and see if they have it available. If they don't, I'd ask my doc to put in a prescription, or my healthcare provider, can you please put in a prescription for 12.5 milligrams? When I was calling for the 10 milligrams, I would ask them, do you have 12.5 milligrams? Titrating up, for me, I have said all along, for me, low and slow wins. That's my big regret. I wish I could go back and not be on the highest possible dose right now because I'm stuck. Many of you guys have countered that thought point, which we'll talk about the counters later for another day. But my regret is that I wish I had not titrated up to the highest possible dose because I have nowhere else to go. And so what I want to encourage you, touch your healthcare provider on that over this last 18-month journey. Touch your healthcare provider on that. Maybe titrating up is the next step for you. If you're banging your head not to get the medication, for me, there's many, many studies have shown that people who get off GLP-1 medication, 70% gain the weight back. That, for me, for this house, this body, this temple, that terrifies me, which is why I have gone and switched to a compound, tirzepatide, during this shortage. Will I switch back to Zepbound? Yeah, I will. In fact, I actually did get a prescription for Zepbound. They had it at my local pharmacy. I just called on a whim. I'm like, let me just call and see. They had it. I was shooketh. So for me, and people are like, don't you love the compound? I'm like, I do love the compound. I do feel differently with the compound. However, there's so many pros and cons. I like both. I like both. At the end of the day, the accountant and I have extensively talked about this. My preference would probably be to be on like Eli Lilly's medication. There's several reasons for that. I've gone into ad nauseum as to why. But eventually that's my hope. And also because my insurance probably will cover it. I'm hoping. I keep saying that every video. My husband and I are like, maybe by December they'll cover it. We have an insurance company we're very blessed to have a really, really good insurance company. However, they cover WEGOVY, but they don't cover Zepbound. I don't switch to WEGOVY because semaglutides, WEGOVY, Ozempic, slightly less data, slightly less results than Mounjaro and Zepbound and tirzepatide, slightly less. And so for me, with chronic obesity management, I want to have the best possible results I can because I'm still not to my 100-pound weight loss. Y'all, I'm fighting. I'm a turtle. I'm a turtle, and I'm fighting so hardcore to get there. But that's number one for you on your shortage checklist. Some of you OG viewers are like, I've heard of these things before. Well, we're going to talk about some things. Repetition is also a blessing because you may have missed it the first time. But two, it may help you think of things that you didn't think of when I had talked about this previously. If you're a returning viewer, if you're new, welcome here. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button. And if you're also new, get my free shopping list and free meal plan. I spent $500 on this with a dietitian. I have the new one will be coming out, God willing, this week. It's back from the editor. I have a second free meal plan I spent over, it will be $1,000. My husband thinks I'm crazy, but I want to give it to you for free. I bought the licensing rights from a dietitian who has her master's degree in nutrition. It has protein, a ton of protein recipes. You could pay hundreds of dollars for this, but just take mine. It's on countessofshopping.com, and the direct link is also down in that description. Just click that more button. So going through with your refill date, you need to know your refill date. For me, with my healthcare provider, I can refill every 3 weeks. You know what I do? I refill every 3 weeks. On my phone, we love Google. I have a Google Pixel. I love Google so much. We are Google lovers over in here. In my, my hot husband just texted me. He's so cute. He knows that I'm trying to eat less, so he texted me some coffee. We got some new coffee that I'm like obsessed with, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. On your phone, have a reminder pop up every 3 weeks to refill your prescription or whatever your date is. So if it's with your health insurance is probably not going to give you every 3 weeks. You're going to need to find out though. If you don't know, you're going to need to do some legwork, put on your big girl and big boy panties. Counts and countesses here. We are proactive folks. We are people who take action. And so take action to know. If you don't know right now, I want you to put that on your to-do list. Find out what date I can refill, because that is going to buy you time. People in my free group, which has thousands of people, it enrages people when they see that people have stockpiles of medication. I'm like, they have stockpiles of medication because if you're refilling it every 21 days versus every 28 days, you're going to have, after 18 months, even with taking vacations and not being near my pharmacy, you're still going to have surplus, right? That's not stockpiling, that's following the rules within you when you can refill it. So you can find out when you can refill it. Maybe with your insurance, it's every 25 days, or maybe with your insurance every 26 days, or whatever. Those extra days are going to buy you time during the shortage until we get to the end of it. And I like to remind everybody, this is your friendly reminder to put on your gratitude cap. We are so blessed. We are so lucky. I think of my grandma, it makes me want to cry when I think of it, who had chronic obesity management and had her leg amputated off because of chronic obesity management. And how dare I complain that I have to fight a little bit harder, call pharmacies, do several extra hours of work each week to find my prescription, which is why I went to the compound to begin with, by the way, because I was tired of fighting for that. But how dare I complain? In this world of its life-changing medication, stop complaining. Stop being a whiner. Go take a walk if you want. It's just also the counter to that is, I understand. I am right there with you. I too am frustrated. I too have whined and complained. You know what the count lovingly said to me? This is what it is. It is what it is. Things I can change and things I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I want to encourage you, let's get proactive on that. And I understand too the fear of not having medication, which is why I switched to a compound. Which, by the way, so to go back to make sure because people sometimes I think mishear me, or maybe I'm not being clear. The compound has been great for me. It's just I'm on the highest dose. My problem is I need a higher dose, and I cannot get that because it's technically 15 milligrams is the highest dose of Zepbound. So therefore, for compounds, technically it's the highest dose. What I need to have happen eventually is higher doses to come out. So I am patiently waiting and do what is it within my control, which we're going to talk about too with that. Find out your refill date. Can you, with this shortage, potentially maybe titrate up with it? Or if you're on, let me go back over to the screenshot of this. If you are on Mounjaro 10 milligrams or Zepbound 10 milligrams, can you go back down to 7.5 milligrams? I don't know. You may not want to do that. Or the 12.5 milligrams. Can you talk to your healthcare provider? I'm not your healthcare provider, so I would never give you medical advice. But can you titrate up or titrate down? After calling your pharmacy, this is where you need to have a good pharmacy. And that's tip number 2. Do you have a good pharmacy? I have the best pharmacy. I love them so much. They're so nice. They're so friendly. They always have stuff in stock. They're always willing to go the extra mile for me. You know why? Because they have these surveys that come out and I always know their name and I give them excellent reviews. I'm like, they're the best. And I'm sure in a given day, and many of our counts and countesses have told me also who are pharmacy tech folks, of how much the population can be mean. I know firsthand, I woke up this morning to so many nasty, mean comments here on YouTube. Please don't do that. If you disagree with me, just scroll on. Anyways, I digress. pharmacy techs and pharmacy folks are amazing. So having with your pharmacy, you need to have some sort of, you need to know if it's good or not. How do you know if it's good or not? Do they have the product in stock? If you know, it took me a couple of days of calling, a couple of months to figure this out. I would call and see, and I know that's annoying to call. It's 1997, but here's what, I'm gonna go the extra mile to figure this out. The best pharmacy, and I have it here in my town, I'm obsessed with Costco. If you're not in my free group, I literally showed you guys last night my amazing, it was 30 grams of protein meal from Costco, homemade. I just wanna show you guys a picture real fast of this delicious meal. If you guys are not in the group, you should join. It's down in the description link below. Is that not showing up? Oh, it's not showing up. The delicious meal, it's too dark, I think it's not popping up on there. It was from Costco, and it was the best meal. I love Costco, but my Costco pharmacy sucks. I wish it didn't, because I love Costco. I love Costco. So I'm telling you, figure out what the best pharmacy is. That would not be a good fit for me because they never have the medication in stock. Maybe I should call. It's been a year since I've called. Like I called them at the beginning of this journey, and they just never, like month after month after month, they never did. Because I've been in this game, I mean, I'm one of the earlier adapters. Many of you guys are more early than I am who have like 2 years of being on GLP-1 medication. But 18 months, I mean, this has been life-changing. Know your refill date. Know your best pharmacy in your area. If you don't know, you need to figure that out. That's action item number 2 for you, is figuring out which one it is. And the only way I figured out is calling. Now, here's the thing. In my group, we've talked extensively about this new tracking website that came out. I'm not doing that. There's a reason why I have not promoted it one lick here on Countess of Shopping YouTube, that tracking thing, because what are they doing with the data? I go back to privacy of my medical information. What are they doing with that data? You're putting it into a company. The company that is doing that, by the way, the shortage tracker, is not Eli Lilly. If Eli Lilly wanted to do that, they would have done that for us. They've gotten a lot of other great resources, but they've not done that for us. So I, therefore, I do not endorse that shortage tracker. I do not use it. I don't want my information in there. You do you. This is where I always say you do you. If that makes you happy and that provides you comfort, I personally would rather just call, which I know, I'm like boomer. Let me get my phone out. But like, so be it. I'm going to call. Or if I'm like shopping, I popped into one too. I like over to the pharmacy. Excuse me, do you happen to have Zepbound 15 milligrams in stock? And that could be an option for me too, going down to 12.5 milligrams. I won't though. Many of you guys have also said that because of my weight stall to go down. I won't because to me, it doesn't make sense to go down, but that's a topic for another day. So I want you to find your best pharmacy. Number 3 is, if you're like me, I'm like, I don't want to fight anymore. I have no fight left in me. We have a family member who has colon cancer, and my business, there's a lot going on in my business, which is amazing and fabulous and fantastic. I'm going to Vegas for a client coming up here. Like there's a lot of going out to LA for another, like just a lot of awesome stuff is happening, and also lots of harder things happening, probably like your life too. And I'm like, just ship me the compound. Through Join Fridays, they prescribe both. They prescribe Zepbound, and they also prescribe compounds. With the compounds, there are reputable ones. Do your due diligence as always. For me, I'm super happy. The one that I get prescribed through Join Fridays is Red Rock. I've loved the experience. It has been great. I've had questions. I've called Red Rock directly to ask them those questions. And it's been a really enjoyable experience. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be on a prescription because my insurance is eventually going to cover this. And so there's a couple of other reasons. Many of you guys were actually talking about it in the comments the other day, and I was cracking up. You're like, it's because she wants to get sponsored by Eli Lilly. Yes, I do. Or Novo Nordisk. To be in this cutting edge technology, absolutely, yes, I do. I want to be on the right side of history. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do want to work with Eli Lilly. Of course I do. And I don't feel like I've ever shied away from saying that that is my heart's desire. But I would love that. Like, that would be amazing. They've changed my life. I mean, to go from morbidly obese to not being able to move easily to now being able to take my kid on my second fishing trip. My kid and I went fishing when we were in the Outer Banks. I took him on a charter by myself and went fishing. We had like a captain and a first mate. But like I took it, like, to be able to physically do that making those memories, like, it makes me cry. Making those memories with my kid, that is priceless. So when I hear people complaining about the shortage, it makes me think, I'm like, I'll take this shortage to be able to make help my kid go fishing, to be able to play soccer with my kid, to be able to fit in a, I'm wearing a bodysuit right now. Like to be able to wear a bodysuit. I haven't worn a bodysuit since 5th grade. And I'm old. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, these things I never thought would happen. Last night, my husband and I were talking about our finances. I'm like, I'm going to live 20 years longer. I've shared this before. And many of you would ask, and I'll make sure I link it down below. Let me put my little notes here to link it down below. Is The Psychology of Money is the book that I'm reading on investing in finance. You guys know I love finance stuff. That's a really great book. It's not on like the tactile, like Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman. They've already done that. You can get those of like, how do you save? How do you invest? This is like the brain mindset behind it. It's fascinating. It's fascinating, which is right in line with, if you guys have seen my 18-month Zepbound update, right in line with what I've been going through. So number 3 that I said that I was going to talk about is the change in my weight loss journey that has been really helpful for me. 2 things. The Count was just texting me about it, is I've gotten really into, well, making sure I'm getting my protein in, 100 to 120 grams of protein. Super helpful for me because of being full. If I don't hit my protein, you know how I know it every day? I mean, I track it, but you know how at night I know it? I'm hungry and I want to snack at nighttime. Total sabotage. If I get my protein in, I don't snack at all at nighttime. I'm like, I am so full. What's been helping me? These bad boys. I will link down below. This is if you've made it this long, you get it. Bioptimizers gave us a free 14-day supply of magnesium. I will link that down below for you. There's a different link of what I'm going to talk about. So just make sure you're getting the free link. I'll make sure that that's linked down below. If you want to try it, if you, and then people were telling me like, after you get the free one, if you choose to like order more, because many of you guys have been, if you've been on it, it's like really discounted. I didn't do that obviously because like I don't need, I didn't do that, but the link's down below. These 2 things, game changers for me. Game changers because I have been doing Pilates, and many of you have asked about my wall Pilates because of the free group. A group member had said, if you're not lifting for muscle mass loss, try wall Pilates, which I loved, which got me into real Pilates. So I've been going to real Pilates on a reformer, like where you swing your legs around and so forth. And so I have really been, after I come work out, I have been having this. It's the Bioptimizers Protein Breakthrough. It's plant-based. I'll link it down below with an extra 10% off discount code QUEEN. This, I've been making sure I have that every day. And then the Bioptimizers Mushroom Breakthrough. I love mine in salted caramel. So the Count just made me decaf coffee. I will put this in. It's mushrooms and collagen. It helps with also brain functions too. I'm more interested in the collagen part because it has bovine collagen and marine collagen in there too. It's only 50 calories. It is so good. But if you see these scoops in here, the scoop is humongoidal. Oh, I don't want to put my fingers in there. You guys know I'm a germphobe. I didn't wash my hands. Now I'm going to have to like, look how big that scoop is. It's very generous. For 52 of these for 50 calories. It tastes so good. I use one of those little zoos to put it in my decaf coffee. I'll have that now. It's around 11 o'clock when I'm filming this. So good. Keeps me going until lunch. And then at lunchtime, I'll break my fat. Well, this, I guess, technically breaks fast in there. How much? It has protein, 3 grams of protein. It's got the bovine collagen, marine collagen in there, 50 calories. Like, it is awesome. And it does help me with brain functions. More importantly, I like it, though, for the collagen. Those are my faves right now. You guys know I like to try new things. I like to try new things. That is awesome. Very excited about that. Okay, sweet friends, let me make sure I didn't miss anything else on our list. Your shortage checklist. So to recap the shortage checklist, talk to your healthcare provider. If maybe changing the dosage makes sense for you, maybe it doesn't. 2, find out your refill date. Like, when can you refill? 3, does being on the compound make more sense to you? Switching to tirzepatide instead. I don't know. For me, it's been great. I've loved it. I've gotten my shipments. I haven't had to leave my house. They come automatically shipped to my house for the compounds. With Join Fridays, use the discount code QUEEN. For brand names, I do have to go to my local pharmacy on that to clarify. Number 4, find your best pharmacy in your area. Find your worst pharmacy. Number 5 is find your worst one. The best one for me, they always have the prescription best they can, even throughout the shortage. There's been a shortage, but they best that they can, they're ordering quickly. How would you know that? Is if it's available, finding out when they order, when they're doing their ordering. and asking them the doses that they do happen to have in stock. That's helpful too, right? Because that may help you make decisions. If you're on 5 milligrams and you're like, should I titrate up to 7.5 milligrams? If for that particular month they happen to have it. So, sweet friends, 2 things. 1, your accountability question. What are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? I want to know. Tell me down in the comments below. 2, your emoji for today is going to be a Christmas tree. I think Christmas in July. I love Christmas. It makes me so happy. And sometimes we just need little happy things. So today's emoji, if you've made it this far in the video, is a Christmas tree. We're going to light this thing up like a Christmas tree. And for all of my Jewish friends and friends of other faith, feel free just to put a tree if you don't want to put a Christmas tree. And on that regard, I will pray for you. That's like our bat signal. It will let me know to get to know you better because I care. 2, I will also pray over you when I see that emoji. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thought. All are welcome at the table, regardless. Sweet friends, it's been fun. We're going to continue the conversation over in my private group. And if you want to see that Costco dinner that I had last night, make sure you join the private group. Today, I'm a little bit behind on letting people in the group, so I'm going to be doing that today too. In addition to the free encouragement email is coming out as well today. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shop and count my blessings because life is delicious. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.